Welcome back to our channel. Today we dive into the life and tragic ending of Shania Twain. Hailed as the queen of country pop, Shania Twain captured the hearts of millions with her powerful voice, energetic performances, and groundbreaking hits. Yet behind the chart-topping success lies a poignant story of resilience, heartbreak, and ultimately a tragic downturn few truly understand. From her turbulent childhood to her meteoric rise in the music industry, and from headline-making scandals to unexpected personal revelations, Shania Twain's journey is as inspiring as it is heartrending. Join us as we uncover the untold chapters of her life: childhood, family, career, scandal, marriage, other relationships, and the final tragic moments that shaped her enduring legacy. 1. Childhood Shania Twain. Born Eileen Shania Twain on August 28, 1965 in Windsor, Ontario, to Sharon and Clarence Edwards. Early on, her life was marked by difficulties and harshness. She moved with her mother to Timmins, Ontario, after her parents' divorce when she was just 2 years old, and from then on, they struggled with limited finances and scarce food. These circumstances clearly shaped her character and sense of responsibility from a young age. Shania Twain's childhood was not simply a backdrop for a later career. It formed the bedrock of her determination, discipline, and empathy. Growing up in Timmins, a city in northern Ontario known for mining and harsh winters, instilled in her a deep sense of resilience. Winters could last for many months and the local economy was tough, meaning money was tight not just for Shania's household, but for many in the area. Shania's adoption by her stepfather, Jerry Twain, is another crucial part of her early life. Although she was born Eileen Regina Edwards, she later took the surname Twain after Jerry legally adopted her. This is why she is widely known as Shania Twain, though certain references use Eileen Shania Twain. Jerry was of Ojibwe descent, which introduced Shania to aspects of Indigenous culture in northern Ontario. This heritage would later influence her perspective on nature, community, and music. Her mother's struggle with depression was another heavy burden on Shania at a young age. The text notes domestic tension and occasional violence. As a child trying to avoid external intervention, she kept her hardships private, which must have been emotionally exhausting. Yet these circumstances accelerated her emotional growth, making her fiercely protective of her siblings and profoundly aware of the fragility of familial bonds. The bar singing experience at age 8 is especially telling. Most children that age are in bed by 9 p.m., but Shania was out past midnight performing for a rowdy, inebriated crowd. This routine helped her develop a thick skin. She had to learn to navigate adult behaviors and moods in real time, skills that served her well in the demanding environment of the music industry. The mention of performing art school on the road beautifully illustrates how Shania turned adversity into a kind of intense, real-world education. At 13, landing a performance on CBC's Tommy Hunter show was a significant nod to her budding talent. Tommy Hunter was a major figure in Canadian country music, and his show provided national exposure. The fact that Shania was invited on at such a young age shows she possessed something special: stage presence, vocal ability, and the intangible spark that makes for a captivating performer. Working in her father's reforestation business further underlines her physical and mental grit. She walked great distances daily, carried heavy bundles of saplings, and could not use any scented personal products, deodorant, shampoo, or soap, for fear of attracting bugs. Surviving and even thriving in those conditions taught her resourcefulness and the ability to improvise. She has mentioned in interviews how she would retreat into the forest with her dog, guitar in hand, writing songs inspired by the solitude and the raw beauty of nature. Finally, meeting Mary Bailey marked a shift from local to more professional opportunities. Mary Bailey was a country singer who had enough industry knowledge to see Shania's potential and offer guidance. This led to bigger chances, eventually paving the way for Shania's introduction to John Kim Bell, the National Aboriginal Achievement Foundation, and the path to a record deal. Family. The car accident in 1987 was absolutely devastating for Shania. Her mother, Sharon, and her stepfather, Jerry, died in a single moment. For a young woman who had already experienced a tough upbringing, losing both parental figures so suddenly must have been shattering. Not only did she have to deal with her own grief, but she also became the primary caretaker for her younger siblings, stepping into the role of both guardian and breadwinner. We often talk about ambition in the music industry, aspiring singers moving to Nashville to make it big, but for Shania, family obligations trumped personal ambition. She chose to remain in Timmins, ensuring her siblings had the foundation they needed. This decision delayed her career advancement by several years, but it also underscores her sense of responsibility and love for her family. Many believe that these formative experiences added an emotional depth to her voice and lyrics. There's a certain honesty in her songs that resonates with listeners, possibly born of the struggles she faced outside the spotlight. Once her siblings were old enough to manage on their own, Shania sent out demo tapes to record executives. Among these tapes was one that caught the attention of Mercury Nashville, which recognized her potential. This would become the springboard for a legendary run in country music. Had she rushed off earlier, before her siblings were ready, or before she herself was emotionally prepared, her story might have been very different. In many ways, Shania's family life, both the tragedies and her profound sense of duty, instilled in her a grounded perspective that she carried through to her later stardom. While some young stars might get swept away by fame, Shania's background acted as an anchor, reminding her of where she came from and why she was pursuing music in the first place. Third, career. Shania's first album, Shania Twain, 1993, was a modest success, but it served as the crucial first step in her mainstream career. What's notable about this era is the early collaboration with producers and industry professionals who saw her potential. While What Made You Say That and Dance with the One That Brought You weren't massive hits on the scale of her later work, they laid the groundwork for radio exposure and let the world know that a new voice in country music had arrived. The Woman in Me, 1995, was the album that put Shania on the map. Crucially, it was produced by Robert John Mutt Lang, whom she married in 1993. Lang was already well known for his production work with rock bands like AC/DC and Def Leppard, and he brought a high-octane sound to Shania's country bass. Tracks like Any Man of Mine and Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Under displayed a lively mix of rock-influenced production and country storytelling. This blend was groundbreaking at the time, attracting a broad audience that included not just country fans, but pop and rock listeners as well. The album's rapid climb to multi-platinum status and its diamond certification proved the powerful synergy between Shania's songwriting, her unique vocal style, and Langa's polished radio-friendly production. Then came Come On Over, 1997, which some experts consider one of the greatest crossover albums in music history. It featured global hits like You're Still the One, From This Moment On, and That Don't Impress Me Much, songs that seamlessly bridged country and pop. The record soared to become the best-selling country album ever and one of the best-selling albums by a female artist, with over 40 million copies sold worldwide. This album's success turned Shania into a household name, influencing future generations of musicians, especially female artists aiming for a cross-genre appeal. Indeed, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that performers like Taylor Swift found a precedent in Shania's effortless blending of pop hooks with country instrumentation. Her career accolades quickly piled up: Grammy Awards, American Music Awards, BMI Songwriter Awards, and star placements on major walks of fame. Yet behind these accolades was a dedication to authenticity. Shania frequently co-wrote her songs and insisted on lyrics that were relatable, fun, or empowering to listeners. Some critics in traditional country circles questioned the pop sheen of her music, but fans embraced her fresh sound. Her marriage to Mutt Lange combined professional and personal spheres. Lange co-wrote and produced multiple albums with her, shaping the upbeat, anthemic style that became her hallmark. However, as indicated, heartbreak was on the horizon, foreshadowing personal struggles that would later unfold. Another fascinating career highlight is the 3-version release of Up, 2002. Shania and her production team created pop, country, and international mixes of the same album. This was an ingenious strategy to cater to different markets, showcasing Shania's adaptable voice. Each version had a slightly different sonic texture, but all carried her signature upbeat flair. The record earned another Diamond certification, making Shania the only female artist in U.S. history to achieve 3 consecutive Diamond albums, a towering milestone in the industry. Her extended tours and the 2004 Greatest Hits compilation consolidated her status as a global superstar. Yet Shania faced health and personal challenges around this time. She contracted Lyme disease after being bitten by a tick, which affected her vocal cords and led to years of uncertainty about whether she could sing professionally again. Though not detailed in the text, this health struggle likely intersected with the personal turmoil she would soon face in her marriage. She starred in the show Why Not with Shania Twain, revealing her vulnerabilities and allowing fans a more intimate connection. Her path back to the stage included Shania Still the One, a Las Vegas residency that ran from 2012 to 2014. Performing in one fixed venue helped her regain vocal stability and confidence. Finally, her comeback album Now, 2017, proved that her hiatus hadn't diminished her star power. Debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200, it was further evidence that audiences still craved Shania's music. The subsequent residency, Let's Go in Vegas, showcased her ability to continue delivering energetic, crowd-pleasing shows. In total, her career stands as an inspiring lesson. With resilience, evolution, and a willingness to face personal and professional challenges, it's possible to maintain star status for decades. 4th, scandal. The abrupt end of Shania's marriage to Robert John Mutt Lange in 2010 made headlines worldwide. Not only were they a married couple, but they were also one of the most successful artistic duos in music. Together, they had created some of the top-selling albums in country pop crossover history. The revelation that Lange had an affair with Shania's close friend, Marie-Anne Thiebaud, was a shocking betrayal. This scandal rocked Shania's personal life and tested her emotional resilience. The heartbreak was amplified by media scrutiny. Fans who had grown up idolizing their partnership were stunned. Despite the turmoil, Shania demonstrated remarkable composure publicly. While she briefly stepped away from the spotlight, she didn't spiral into inactivity. She eventually returned to the stage stronger, reaffirming that heartbreak can sometimes fuel personal and creative reinvention. Interestingly, the scandal also paved the way for a surprising twist in Shania's romantic life. She found support in Frédéric Thiebaud, Marie-Anne's then-husband, who was similarly devastated by the affair. Over time, Shania and Frédéric grew close in their shared grief, eventually developing a romantic relationship that led to marriage in 2011. The text doesn't delve deep into this, but it's an anecdote that underscores how life can take unexpected turns. From a career standpoint, one might speculate that the scandal and her subsequent divorce served as a catalyst for introspection. She has mentioned in interviews that emotional distress can affect vocal performance, yet she harnessed that pain, wrote new music, and, as we've seen, made a triumphant return with the album Now. After news of the affair broke, tabloid coverage became relentless, portraying Shania as both heartbroken victim and resilient survivor. Industry insiders recall how Shania's initial shock and emotional turmoil were compounded by the speed at which the public consumed every detail. Insiders also noted that she maintained a dignified silence for much of this period, refusing to name-call or incite further drama. Close friends say her main focus was on protecting her son, Ija, from the fallout, limiting his exposure to sensational headlines. As months passed, Shania's experience navigating personal betrayal in such a public arena inspired her to offer support to others going through similar ordeals. Though she didn't openly campaign as a self-help figure, her candid discussion of heartbreak and forgiveness during interviews resonated with fans who'd faced parallel struggles. Ultimately, the scandal underscored Shania's ability to transform profound disappointment into personal growth, an outlook that made her even more admired. Fifth marriage. Shania and Mutt Lange's relationship was a rare convergence of romantic partnership and professional collaboration. Lange's rock background and Shania's contemporary country instincts combined to create a new subgenre that some call pop country crossover. They worked seamlessly on tracks like You're Still the One, Man, I Feel Like a Woman, and many others that catapulted Shania to international fame. Their son, Ija, pronounced Asia, was born in 2001, enriching their family life and intertwining personal responsibilities with professional commitments. Though many industry power couples find it hard to maintain a harmonious balance, Shania and Lange seemed to thrive until the affair that ended their marriage. Even so, for nearly 17 years, their union was central to Shania's unstoppable success. It's often pointed out that in addition to writing songs, they would meticulously shape each track's. Their daily routine, according to those close to them, included balancing studio responsibilities with familial obligations, making sure Aja's upbringing remained stable despite worldwide tours and chart-topping demands. Some who worked with them mention that Shania's unwavering commitment to domestic harmony was as strong as her passion for songwriting, further highlighting how deeply she valued the marriage before it collapsed. Hicks. Other relationships. Frédéric Thibault was, as the text states, an executive at Nestlé and also the husband of Marie-Anne Thibault, the friend involved in the affair with Mutt Lange. Shania and Frédéric initially connected through their shared devastation. They leaned on each other for support during a deeply painful time, forming an unexpected bond that evolved into love. By January 1st, 2011, Shania and Frédéric were married in a private ceremony in Puerto Rico, turning a tragic situation into a new beginning. This marriage symbolized not only a personal rebirth for Shania, but also an affirmation that she wouldn't let betrayal define her future. In interviews, Shania has expressed gratitude for finding someone who could understand her heartbreak from an inside perspective. Fans have often remarked that Shania's story is a testament to resilience and optimism. Even in moments of profound betrayal, one can find genuine love and companionship again. 7. Death. The tragic loss of Sharon and Jerry Twain. In 1987 serves as an emotional pivot in Shania's life. Already struggling with finances and uncertain prospects, she suddenly became the head of the household. This is a seismic responsibility for someone barely into her 20s, yet she handled it with a level of maturity beyond her years. For about 4 to 5 years after their death, Shania was focused on survival, both for her siblings and herself. She found local gigs, including a regular slot at the Deerhurst Resort in Ontario, that allowed her to support her family and still keep music in her life. These performances were not the glitz and glamour of Nashville, but they were vital stepping stones. They gave her the space to hone her craft while fulfilling a caregiving role. The effect of this tragedy is woven through her subsequent music. Some say the emotional resonance in hits like You're Still the One and From This Moment On is partly informed by that profound sense of love lost early in life. Regardless, this experience taught her that success can vanish in an instant, a lesson she carried with her into global stardom. Thank you for joining us on this deep exploration of the life and tragic ending of Shania Twain. We hope this account of her early struggles, stunning achievements, tumultuous controversies, intimate relationships, and eventual tragic fate has given you new insight into the woman behind the megastar. If you found her story moving, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more revealing journeys into the lives of remarkable figures. Your support helps us continue sharing these stories, honoring both the triumphs and the trials that define iconic legends. Until next time, let's remember Shania Twain, not only for her chart-topping songs, but also for the strength and spirit that made her a legend.